Ah! Oh, this song's too loud. Why is it so loud? Oh, that's better. Hold on, I just ran upstairs. I should have waited a bit before starting stream. Oh my god. I forgot to start stream, and then panic started it, and then I had to go get a coffee, and then I ran up the stairs, and now it's now, and I'm really out of breath. And it's one of those days. It's one of those days. Anyway, that's the wrong fucking game. That's the wrong game. That's the wrong game. No, don't start Raft, please. Okay, my defense, it's not my fault that Raft and R2 Modman both start with an and their icons on my desktop are blue. It's peak day. I love peak. I love Peem. Peak. Ba 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 da ba wow wow bow wow bow wow bow wow wow wow. Anyway, how are we doing, chat? What's the vibes? Today the vibes are my head is fucking empty. Like completely empty. There's nothing in here. Not a thing in this little brain of mine while we wait for peak to start. I'm gonna do some pixel art. I'm fucking obsessed with no, I think I closed the tab. I'm obsessed with Wplays, chat. I'm fucking obsessed with it. I am so upset. There is not one but two other artworks in the area that I was gonna put my art, and I'm so sad. It's saddening, honestly. Where's gaming? Where's my gaming thing? Here it is. Peak! Yeah! Okay. I might actually turn the music off for this game, honestly, because it does have its own kind of soundtrack, and I do quite like just listening to the peak noises. We are achievement hunting today. I really wanna get all the achievements. So not all of them can be done all at once. Hold on, let me have a look. Oh, that's my settings. Here we go. Okay, I don't think we can do all of these all at once, obviously. I think we're gonna go for the rope one, the poison, and the 50 meters one all at once. And then we'll start going for some of these other ones, like no full damage, no lost consciousness I can probably get in one. This one? That's gonna be tricky. Well, there's gonna be a lot of playthroughs going on here. We're gonna be playing on the easiest difficulty just because, the, Tenderfoot. Normally I play on this, but we'll play on the Tenderfoot difficulty. Just because you can still get all the achievements on that difficulty, which I think is neat, first of all. That's a lot of loading that was going on there. There was a lot of loading happening there. What else is my computer doing right now? Hold on. What else is my computer doing? Ah. Like everything else. Okay. Okay. Achievement number 1 is rope. We need to get like a load of fucking rope. Achievement number 2, climb 50 meters without touching the ground. Piton would be good. Bandages are gonna be very useful. Achievement number 3 that we're going for in this run is to heal. Oh my god. Wait, I can heal some poison. I can heal some poison. No, I need to heal more poison. Where is it? Okay, actually, wait, hold on. There's better ways of doing this. We're gonna put the rope in here. We need to find 8 rope boys. I believe you get 12.5 meters of rope per thing. I need a calculator for this. I shouldn't, but I do. And that's something we're all going to have to accept. Calculator. Let's have a look. What is it? 12.5 times, what is it? 8, I think? Yeah, we need exactly 8 things of rope to get this. There's no rush. So I think we're just gonna be looking for like a bunch of fucking suitcases. Just all the suitcases. Just scouting for suitcases. We're gonna, there's no fog, there isn't any fog on the beach anyway, so we're just, every fucking suitcase, we're gonna try and find it. Just in the hopes that we get rope. Suitcase. Luggage! Because we need all the fucking... Where did that suitcase just go? I walked right past it. Trail mix. Fuck it, I'll eat that shit. Sport drink. Yes, please. We'll do the no packaged food later on in the run. Though I gotta look up what actually counts as packaged food. In this. There is so much fruit here. Oh my god. Look at all these fucking crispberries. Yeah, we will have to Google what counts as packaged fruit at some point, because I don't know specifically what the game counts. I think it's just anything you find in luggage, but I don't think the arcane luggage counts. So like fairy lamps, I don't think those are, well, you don't need those. Cure-all, I don't think cure-all is packaged food either. I'm honestly not sure. I don't remember. Or I don't know. We'll have to look that up. We're not worrying about that one right yet though. We're going for the rope achievement right now. I really want to 100% this game. I don't know why. I've never had this urge to 100% a game before. This one's just fucking got me. Eating that. Luggage. Is there any more luggage? No. No, there is not. I don't know how high 50 meters is. How many pitons do you need to get up 50 meters? Is the question I'm asking right now. Like, how tall is that? Honestly don't know. I think if I just grab a bunch of fucking pitons, like hoard them like a little creature, find the... Oh, would you look at that? Find the like tallest cliff I can and just attempt to scale it. I bet the tropics would be good for that actually, though I'd have to wait for it to not rain. Luggage. I want that luggage. Uh-oh. Gonna try do it in like 2s. So once I have a backpack full of rope, I'll set out all my ropes. And then that way, I know I only need one more backpack full of ropes, you know? I don't know if I have to then win after getting all the rope. Oh. Oh, this is fucking perfect for this run. Are you kidding me? Ooh, bandage. Okay. Give me a sec, I just want to do it again real quick. Is there a better— oh wait, there's one of these urchin things over here. Hold on, let me up. I'm gonna go stand in one of these real quick. Yeah. This does poison, right? Oh. Okay. Note to self. The fucking bandages don't do poison damage. Oh my god, there's so many of them. Ooh, another baton. I want that. I would like to hoard the batons and rope cannons and such. Okay. Where's the next— this way? Alright, this thing's great. I'm so glad I got that. This is like the perfect run to get this thing. It doesn't tell me what elevation the stuff is at though, which could be an issue. It just tells me where the closest box is. That's okay. I'm sure I can figure it out, what the elevation is. Oh, I can't believe the one run I pull a pirate's compass is this one. That's actually so based. Okay, that is definitively further up the mountain. Good to fucking know. Can I make— is this where I try and do the 50 meters thing? Honestly? Yeah, fuck it. I can do that. We'll start with a rope cannon to get me up there. Oh fuck. Oh shit. And we can't touch the ground, but we have to go up 50 meters. This is not the place for this, actually. But that's okay. Maybe it is. We set our baton. We grab it. Cool. I want to come up this way next. Please don't be any sand here. Oh, that is sand. I think I might have touched the ground there. Okay, no, we'll try it at a better spot. Honestly. Which could be this. Fuck it. Yeah, my problem is that I don't actually know how tall 50 meters is. That's my problem. Like, how many pitons do I need to climb 50 meters? I don't fucking know. Maybe this is it? I'll find out soon, I guess. Is this gonna be it once I get up here? No. Okay. Good to know. It's a lot taller than I think it is. Still further up. Okay. Okay, pirate compass. I'm getting what you're putting down. Aha! There it is. Ooh, and there's some mushrooms. Hi, mushrooms. These ones good. These ones are good. I'll just eat all of them. Who gives a fuck? What's in here? Granola bar. In my mouth it goes. This way for the next one. Oh, pirate compass is so based. So happy I got it. I think pirate compass is one of my favorite items. Because if you think about it, it's like getting— those are poisonous. It's like getting a bunch of items in one. Ooh, big lollipop. That'll help me climb really high. At some point in the future when I decide to climb a really tall— oh my god, Zon is here! Hi babe! I'm getting peak achievements. Eee! I have 1 rope, and that's it. I need 8 ropes to win. I need to open... You gotta show me the document you made? Okay. What document did you make? Oh wait, I'm not in my live channel. Let me go in my live VC. I always forget to go in my live VC. There we go, I'm actually... Oh hey!
Lemon.
Oh god.
Oh my god.
Hi. Yeah?
I'm gonna show you it. It's so organized.
Oh my god. Okay, how late were you up doing this? Oh jeez. Oh my god. It's a thing of beauty, honestly.
It could be longer. It could be longer.
You are not okay. Like, mentally. Oh my goodness. Hold on, I have to go poison myself. No! I have to go poison myself real quick.
Poison.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what else?
What?
This links to another document that talks about my world building.
Oh my god. Oh my goodness. You're insane. He's insane, chat.
For all of my other days.
What the fuck? Are you like good? How much poison will this heal?
I started talking about this and there's tears immediately going down my face.
Dude. It's okay. Well, that healed a lot of poison. How much is 200?
I'm doing my best, I think.
Yeah, I think you are.
I'm
How
doing
much
my
is
best.
200 poison? I wonder. If I
And you know
throw
what
this-
This is alphabetized.
Oh my god, it's alphabetized. Chat, it's alphabetized. Oh my goodness.
It's alphabetized. No.
The next one's all the way that way. I guess I'll climb up this way then. Compass. I got a neat compass.
Compass.
It's got a little hat.
I don't know what the difference between a normal compass and a pirate compass is.
Pirate
but
compass
I
shows
guess
me where the luggage lives.
You know, that makes sense.
It's based.
Hell yeah.
It's very useful.
You know, I'm blowing up.
Yeah? Why would you do that?
Yeah.
You should stop. Ooh. There's a luggage over there! There's 2 luggages over there! I need them. Is this one good? Yes. Just eat every mushroom I see. Ow! I eat every mushroom I see. No questions asked. I just munch.
Do my coursework.
I cannot. I have to win at peak. I have to 100% the game. More energy drinks, trail mix in my mouth. Energy drink. That'll go in my mouth later, I'm sure. I need rope. This is not enough rope. I don't have enough rope yet. Fuck, this isn't rope. Ooh, a piton.
Pimp. Spam tong.
Yeah, spam tong.
Spam tong.
I'm gearing up to do the 50-meter climb, except I don't know how tall 50 meters is.
Probably 50 meters.
I'm not a very good judge of...
One moment. Anyways, what?
I'm not... I'm not a very good judge of, how I've injured myself, of, distance. Like, how high is
Doesn't it
50 meters in this
Get
game?
that though? Doesn't it have like a little meter thing or whatever the fuck?
Not where I can see it.
It happens on the side though when you're spooling.
No, not for the rope,
I'm
for
gonna
the
spool.
climbing.
The climbing.
You have to, I have to unspool 100 meters of rope, and I have to climb 50 meters without touching the ground. These are unrelated to each other.
Oh, I did that by accident.
Oh, did you? Oh, it can't be that high
Yeah,
then.
I don't think so.
How many
I don't know.
pitons do you think 50 meters is, like, roughly? What do you mean there's a luggage this way?
I don't know what the fuck a meter is.
Oh. Ow. I'm fine.
I don't know what it is.
Oh.
My delay is just like a little bit after you
You're
finish the
too
noise.
American.
I mean, I wouldn't be able to tell you how much a foot is either, a yard.
Oh, you just
So-
don't know anything. Sorry, that came out a little harsh.
No, I don't.
That came out a little more bluntly than I was expecting it to. I apologize.
I understand what you mean. But I really don't know how to move on from it.
I'm so sorry.
I'm not that great at measurements.
It's okay.
I
It's
never
okay.
learned them very well.
I understand. I understand completely,
Yeah.
and I apologize profusely for what just came out of my mouth. It just kind of happened.
My God.
I'm so sorry. It was so rude. I can't believe I just said that. What the fuck? Hi, Squiddy. I just
Squiddy.
insulted Thunder to his face. It wasn't even on purpose, really. It just kind of happened. Oh my god.
Word. So yeah,
Oh my goodness.
I did something.
Yeah, you did. You did some things. My goodness, that's one hell of a. Ooh, a bandage. And some trail mix.
This is that trail.
Don't worry, I consumed it. Ah. I still haven't found any more rope.
I have Cheez-It snack mix.
Cheez-Its!
Unfortunately, there's Cheetos in them. So I'd be snacking all happy and fine and dandy until I eat a Cheeto and I'm like, well, my life is ruined. But then I continue eating it
Wait, you got
because I
you
like
got
all the other stuff.
you got Cheez-Its and then Cheetos in the same packet?
Well, there's more than Cheez-It and Cheeto. It's party mix.
Oh. I don't know what a potty mix is. I'm gonna be real with you,
Well,
man.
it's a snack mix. I'm a liar.
I know what that
It
is
has
even
pretzels,
less.
Those weird little baked bits, different kinds of cheese bits.
Oh.
I mostly
Huh.
really like the pretzels. You know how I feel about pretzels.
I know how you feel about pretzels, yeah.
I love pretzels.
You do like pretzels. Pretzels are pretty good. Any
Enjoy them
featuring.
immensely. Hey, that looks familiar.
Yeah, it's a peak from yesterday still. It's gonna change.
That's on that jellyfish.
No. It's
Oh man.
it's gonna change in not that long.
Why do you have a million energy drinks?
I'm saving them.
For what?
I'm not sure really.
Energy drinks are not useful. They're used in moments of desperation, and that's all.
You make a fair point, actually. I might as well just drink this. I was keeping one because I have a lollipop, and then if you combine the two, they're really fucking good. But you've pointed out that I can only do that once. So why do I have like a million of them? And you would be right. Why do I have a million of them? Ooh, Curel. I'm gonna need that.
Spoilers?
What? What do you mean spoilers?
my
toilet.
delay.
Shut the fuck up.
Just a couple of seconds.
Yeah, I'll fucking drink this right now. Who gives a fuck? I'm gonna walk around
You
this
should drink it.
campfire really fast.
Speed.
I'm so fast. What fucking achievement do I have to do? I need to restore poison. I've already failed at not taking full damage. And naturalist as well.
Fall damage.
I need to climb 50
Naturalist, is that
meters
when you piss
without
in the
touching.
woods?
What? No, that's when you don't eat any packaged food. Is that when you piss in the woods? My goodness.
I was pissing in the woods for that achievement.
What? This could be
I
a
don't
really
actually know
big.
if I got that achievement.
This could be a really good wall to climb upwards.
Perhaps.
Do I have
Maybe
enough?
that- yeah. Probably.
Why are you saying it like that?
Because I don't really know measurements, but that looks like a wall that you would climb upwards with.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Okay, I have big lollipop, and then the cure, and then I want this, and then the compass, and then I want this in my hands. I'm gonna see actually real quick. I'm not on a time limit because I'm on Tenderfoot, so that's fine. I'm actually gonna see what other stuff there is just like around real quick. What the fuck? What? I don't know what just happened, but I'm not gonna question it.
What?
Brett just kind of like shuffling about without my permission. I want to see if maybe I can get another, if I get up here, if I can get like more pitons or something.
Spam tongue.
Yeah, though there should be more. Look, here's this luggage over there. Hold on, I'm gonna go for that luggage instead. I'm gonna stay on the ground for a little bit. Though it does feel weird playing this game without the fog being a threat to my life. I'm so used to panicking about the fog. In my head, I feel like I need to rush, but I definitely don't. It's like so chill. Ooh, airline food. I'll eat it. It's not quite what I was hoping for Christmas, but that's fine. This luggage this way. Where this way? Oh, oh. Hello. Ow. Oh. I don't think I want to touch that.
Creeper. Oh
I
man.
don't think I want to touch that, actually.
You get an achievement.
Do you?
You do.
Is it different to the normal Scoutmaster achievement?
I don't think so.
Well, I already have
That's
the
how I got my
Scoutmaster achievement, so...
You were touched by the Scoutmaster?
Yeah, Tussie helped me summon him for an achievement.
How could you do this?
What do you mean?
Scoutmaster.
He gave me a little kiss.
I don't need to give you this. Tucked hair behind you.
He gave me a little kiss and also kind of threw me off the cliff. It hurt.
That's my favorite part.
Yeah, it's pretty great. Oh, hello. Please have an antidote. Ooh, I want that. Oh, wait, I can use the cure. Oh, fuck. Oh, actually, wait, this is perfect. Oh, I did it. I got the achievement. I don't have to give a fuck anymore. Where's my fucking cure-all then? Let's drink that to deal with this health problem issue. Cool. I guess I'm just gonna have to hope that one piton and a lot of dreams can get me up 50 meters. Surely, right? Surely.
I was reading something and I forgot to turn on subtitles.
What, mentally turn on my subtitles?
Yes.
Ah. Yes.
Hold on, be right back.
Oh, he's gone. There he goes, chat. Right, we're gonna try climb this. There's no point except for an achievement. Because that's today, baby. It's just doing shit for achievement. Gah, come here. Specifically. Is that not the achievement? I'm so high up right now. This is lame. Well, I'm just gonna wait here for the sleepy to go away.
Ugh.
Hey.
I might have to go for being a motherfucker.
Oh.
Making
Oh.
it difficult for me to concentrate on things.
Oh. Surely I can get up here. Surely this is 50 meters. Right? Surely this is 50 meters. Right?
Keep going.
Surely. Right? Right?
I
Where's
don't
the
know.
achievement? Where's my fucking achievement? Peak!
Are you sure you don't have the achievement already?
I don't have the achievement already.
Huh.
Oh
Maybe
my god.
if you just like wiggle around on the wall.
I'm off the wall!
Just don't touch the ground.
It's
like-
upwards. It specifies climb upwards 50 meters. Hold on, I'm
Does
looking
it
this
have to
up.
be continuously upwards?
Yes! You have to climb upwards 50 meters! Climb
Continuously?
upwards. What?
What are the ones that I gotta get? Animal serenading badge. Balloon badge. Bookworm badge. Oh, I haven't read all of the Scoutmaster's journal entries. Bouldering badge. Resurrect 3 scouts in a single expedition. 3 different scouts? Or resurrect the same
Yeah.
scout 3 times?
What the fuck? Oh my god!
100 meters of rope. Jeez.
How many pitons will I need?
Spam tones. I
Yes.
swear, when I got that badge, I didn't use any spam tone. That's so strange.
Huh.
Oh, I want the participation badge.
Oh yeah.
Have a friend escape the island without you.
Yeah, it's funny.
we get to the peak and then I just salute and fall.
Yeah, I got it for Tursi. When the cannibalism update came out, and she let me eat her. We waited for ages. It was also my first time, like, actually peaking as well. And we spent ages climbing this fucking mountain. And then we just sat there waiting really anticlimactically for like 5 minutes for my hunger to go down enough so I could eat her. It was great. Real bonding moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. I cannot believe that wasn't fucking. Is that not? That looks like 50 fucking meters, but apparently not. I'm gonna lose it. Oh, maybe it didn't count it because I was climbing the wrong direction.
Oh, maybe.
Oh, that fucking sucks if that's true.
Yeah.
Oh, it's fine. I just need to find another lollipop energy drink and then maybe like 2 or 3 pitons. Because no one said I had to like survive the fall. You know? No one said I had to, you know, make it to a platform at the top. I just had to climb 50 meters. Just gonna very carefully when the rain stops, just kind of like, oh, ow, ow, okay. Rain, rain, can I go up please, rain? This is not a fun place to be, rain. Okay, cool. I'm gonna just wedge it between these 2 bitches. Ow, that kind of hurt. Yeah. I'm wedging right now.
Holy shit.
Ooh, shell fungus. That counts as ground.
Wow.
Yeah. This looks like fun. Can I make it? Surely. This is still pointing, yeah, that way. Okay. Oh, where to from here, though? There ain't no way I'm making that. Oh, actually, I could go from here. Up to here. Oh, there's luggage up there. I'll get that in a second. Fuck! I'm going for it regardless. I'm not gonna. No. It's not one of the options on my list of things to do today. No. Nuh-uh. Nope. Up we go. No. Why?
Flying.
No. Maybe I do want to go to that luggage. Uh-oh. Oh no, that was fine. This looks doable. It is doable. Look at me go. I'm gonna climb a really good tree. Uh-oh. What? Why are your bones getting chiseled? Guys, I think Xander's losing it. I think he's losing it, chat. There's a bridge over there. But I want to get over there is the thing. Is there a way around this way? Yeah! I like sliding on the vines.
It is one of my favorite things. It's so fun.
Waiting for the rain. Yay! Oof. Everything is fine. Oh, I got it! Such a fucking gamer. All this for some luggage. Ooh, decent luggage though. Not a rope, though, notably. Which is kind of a... What? Ow. Turn the Oreos into cake? Why would they do that to the Oreos?
Little pieces, and you can't put it all in your mouth because that is a bug.
Chat, does anyone have any clue what Zonda's talking about right now? What are you... What are you yapping about, bro?
You can't eat the Oreos like that.
What Oreos?
The Oreos that they turned into cake.
What? Why
Stacking
not?
them and putting the frosting on them like they did the thing, but you can't. That's not how Oreos should be eaten.
Is it that you can't eat Oreos like that, or is it that you think you shouldn't eat Oreos like that?
If I have to take a bite out of well, I think I'm going to ruin the tour.
What? You sound so shocked by that revelation. I think it's me. I'm going to ruin the tour. Yeah. Ow. I'm sorry, Chad. I keep stuffing Maltesers in my mouth. But in my defense, they're really tasty. Maltesers.
What?
You never heard of Maltesers?
No.
The fuck? What in the America? You guys
drinking a root beer.
don't have Maltesers?
I don't know. I don't consume a lot of things outside my usual consumed things.
Oh. I wonder if I just start climbing whether I'll get anywhere. It's not looking like it. Uh-oh. I made some poor decisions. Some really, really bad ones. Chat, we're losing him. We're losing him, guys. You're so right, actually. Oh, fuck. I missed the fucking vine!
So how's your peak going?
Oh, it's alright. I got one achievement from that, so I'm okay with this. Oh my god, I fucking jumped and I really thought I could catch the vine and I just didn't press E quick enough. No, that's too grumpy. I'm sticking with my normal mouse. Oh, well, let's try again, shall we? At some point I gotta figure out how to get out of the map. I know it's possible. Okay, back at it again. What? 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 Did your stream just catch up?
No.
What are you giggling at, little giggly man? What are you giggling at, bro? Bro, who got you laughing like that? What? Let's see DMs. Yeah, actually. Okay, for context, chat. For context, Zlana just sent me. Where's my fucking? No, I can't capture fucking. Oh my god! Wait. Let me. No, that's not it. Where's my fucking? Here it is. Zonda just sent me. I'm trying to show it on chat. I'm fighting for my life right now. Zonda just sent me this image. Which is coming for me so hard. I wasn't prepared. I'm doing my best, okay? I'm doing my best. I'm trying my hardest out here, man. I didn't come here to get attacked like this, but also neither did you, so, so I guess we're both fucked, really. Did the map change? I think the map might have changed. No? No.
Damn.
The map's the same still. Do I remember where all the luggage is? Absolutely fucking not. Oh, a rope spool. My beloved. Or possibly Below's. I haven't decided yet. How much rope can one bitch unspool? That's what I want to know.
That's what I gotta ask myself every single day. Get up, bed, go elsewhere, go that way, sit at my desk, go back to my bed.
How much rope can a bitch unspool?
Yeah.
Yeah. You get it, Jack, right? Jack gets it, surely. Ooh, luggage. Oh, I had a pirate compass out running. I'm not gonna get one. Fuck. was a really good item to have. For like,
Blowing up.
ooh, ton. Okay,
Expensive.
hold on. We've got to organize this. Cool. What's in here? Bandages, don't need it. That's going directly into my mouse. Another piton! More bandages that I really don't care about. Energy drink, another one. I already have one of those. It's going in my mouse. God, I'm so zoomies.
Do my
Zoomies.
coursework.
No. What coursework do you gotta do anyway?
Like 1,000,000.
Oh god. You should be doing that.
But I don't want to.
Ah, I'm sensing the problem here. I've identified an issue.
I have to watch a documentary to do my essay.
These ones are bad. You have to watch a documentary to do your essay? Oh, you poor bastard. My condolences.
You know what else I had to do? One of my other assignments.
These.
I have to write an analysis on my experience calling a representative.
You
They
have
want me to make a phone call.
Oh god. You like to do what?
Just to talk to them about what my position paper's gonna be on. Be like, I'm in support of whatever the fuck and whatever.
That's
My mom told me
revolting.
to send her bullet points on what it's gonna be, and she's gonna write it up for me.
That's so revolting. I'm
I
so
didn't
sorry.
Sign up for online college to talk to people on the phone.
No.
I'm
Ugh.
distraught about it.
What? Wait, what do you even study? Aren't you studying fucking psychology? What does this have to do with psychology?
Unfortunately, this is my other class that I don't get a choice what to do, apparently.
Oh.
But
Why?
after this, there's only 2 more weeks left.
What purpose does this class serve? Ooh, big lollipop.
It doesn't. It's an American national government class.
But like,
This is
why
just
do
one
you?
of the other classes that I have to do for credits.
Oh. Wait, so you just kind of have to do it for no reason?
I guess.
What the fuck is your? What the fuck? I'm so glad I never went to university. This sounds like bullshit. My brother's going to university in September, and I'm like, I'm so proud of you, but also I'm so sorry. You know?
I just.
Yeah.
I'm losing it.
Valid, honestly. Where did that arcane luggage go again? Was it over here? Beginning to think it was not over here. Can't find it. I think I climbed too high up already. That's sad. I can't figure out where it was. I kind of wanted to see what was in it. This ooh, rope cannon. I'll throw out my bandage. This is gonna ruin the tour, man.
This is gonna ruin the tour.
I'm gonna ruin the tour, actually. This is going to have an impact on the trout population. Oh my god. This. I'm going to write a formal complaint. I'm gonna stub your toes. I'm gonna piss your pants even.
You know what else?
Mm-hmm.
You could write a 550 to 1,000 word essay on
Why I
Citizens
should pee your
United
pants? Yeah, I like
and-
that idea.
No, don't be my pants!
I hate bees. Bitches will say anything to avoid saying I'm gonna KMS. Bitches will say anything. Oh, I'm gonna- Ooh, an energy drink. I'm gonna cook my trail mix. That's another thing to say. I'm gonna cook your trail mix.
Cook my trail mix. I like that one though.
You imagine saying it with just utter rage as well. I'm gonna cook my trail mix.
Oh yeah.
I need something to say that isn't threatening other people with violence as well. I don't know what is this the same peak as before? This is the same peak as before. Is it? Yes. No. I think it's a different one. There's no floating hedge. That's how I was. Yeah. You're right. Oh my goodness. Ooh, oh, this is definitely a new peak. Oh god, this is a new peak. What's in here? A cure-all. I'll take it. It's not gonna get me up the peak or get me luggage, but that's fine. What achievement am I actually trying to do right now? I can't do naturalist, I've just eaten 2 packets of trail mix. I think I'm doing rope and endurance badge. In the same run, at least. Maybe no full damage, assuming I don't take any full damage. I mean, every run can be a no full damage run if you don't take any full damage, right? Right, Zonda?
What? I found some Gojo water.
Did you? I'm so happy for you. Ooh, another big lollipop. I'll eat that in a minute. You're just not here, and that's okay. Are you okay? Dude. This might be a diagnosable offense, I'm gonna be honest.
No, look at you, look at you.
What?
Look at you.
Oh, let's see this. What
Did
is
you
it?
see why I was distracted?
What? Hold on, but where is it? That's like a disproportionate amount of pelvis. Like, you know what I mean? Where is it?
When did he get on?
Where is it? There should be something there by then. There should be something, and there is nothing. There's nothing. He's just smooth like a Ken
No,
doll.
I don't think so.
I feel like there should be something there by then. I feel like That is.
Okay, but just because you feel like something.
He's.
How many naked Gojos have you seen before?
I don't know. I don't know, but I feel like that's a disproportionate amount of pelvis for a man to have.
Anatomy? Do you know this anatomy? Oh,
No.
Then
But I'm pretty
think it
sure
must make sense.
that's too much.
Honestly, no, it's kind of freaky looking the more I'm looking, actually.
Yes, you seeing what I'm putting down here? There's not enough. There should be something there, and there isn't.
Maybe that's why they're referring to it as a Gojisi.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm disconcerted. I'm uncomfortable. Not because he's got his whole gussy out, but because there's nothing. Because he's smooth like a fucking Ken doll, and I'm not but the picture implies that there's supposed to be something there. You know what I mean? Like.
And now I've pinned the image in our DM every single time.
Why would you do this? Why?
Shits and giggles.
That's fair, I guess. His whole Gojesi is out. What the fuck?
Honestly, who's he fighting?
Who is he fighting with his dick not out and also simultaneously out like that?
Oh, I think I know.
Is it the other one?
It's the other one.
What's his name? Fucking Gato.
Yeah, emphasis on the gay.
Emphasis on the gay. No, it's spelled wrong.
Gitu.
Gitu. Do you think if the egg cracked and Gato decided that he was trans, do you think her name would be Gator?
I sure hope so.
do you think? Aren't you glad this conversation is recorded? Right now, I don't remember we're saying this bullshit live.
Yeah.
It's a shimmy, the wall shimmy. You know the one. The shimmy. Ugh. This way. You looking at Gator pictures? No, Gojo pictures again?
No. What? I'm just scrolling.
Sounds like the sound someone would make it play War, and they didn't want me to know about it.
Listen. Oh god damn. Sorry, what?
I was correct.
There's just my Twitter feed has just changed a lot over the past few days. It's not really full of Gojo. It's full of Avatar and Na'vi stuff now.
Oh. Ow. Well, there goes the no full damage badge.
And then anime women of different varieties.
Oh. You gonna elaborate
And that's
on
what
that?
my last
or-
goddamn was about. No, not on stream.
Okay.
Arguably a little more skin tone than the Gojo scene.
How? How? What? Excuse me? Bro.
I'm normal.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the next Avatar movie.
You're gonna be waiting the fucking wall, mate.
It's December.
It's only that long? I feel like
Gotta wait for December.
the other one only came out like 2 minutes ago.
No, it's coming out in December. Oh, September, October, November, December. It's like 4.
When did the other one come out?
I have no clue, actually.
I feel like it only came out like 5 minutes ago. Uh-oh.
2022.
Uh-oh.
That was 3.
What the fuck do you mean 2022? Why would you just lie?
2022.
No,
That's what it says.
that can't be true. Why would you
wanna
say
know
that to
when
me?
The first Avatar came out?
Oh, that was fucking yonks ago. I know that much.
Yeah.
I don't know. This route I've taken is not good. I'm not doing very well at this whole
Oh, 2009.
Yeah, that was yonks ago. I feel nothing about that. I'm not feeling good about this run. I'm gonna be real with you.
I think you can do it.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna get any fucking achievements doing it. That's the thing. The point isn't peaking. The point is getting achievements.
Win. Succeed.
Battle Royale?
What?
You made a Battle Royale. It's just a 2v2. Who's gonna win?
Battle.
Battle.
I will win.
This is... This is not gonna end well because no matter who wins, you're gonna win eventually.
I'm gonna win.
Because of the rule.
I'm gonna win.
Do you remember the rule?
I'm gonna win.
Yeah, well you are, because if I win, then you just get more money.
I'm gonna get so much money.
Eventually you have to win.
I'm gonna get money.
Oh. Yeah, that's fine. I don't know what I'm doing. What the where am I going? What am I doing right now? Zana, what am I doing? Where am I? What? But why am I doing it like this? In such a fucked up manner. Is there even anything up to? No. No loot. No rope. Kinda need to get like 2 rope per peak at least. Otherwise I'm not gonna get enough. You know? Maybe I'll get some rope at the campfires. Ow. Ow. What? You alright?
Don't make me.
Do coursework? You should do some coursework. I can't hear what you were saying. You're just kind of mumbling angrily in the background. I'm gonna be real with you.
I don't wanna.
You gotta though. No rope. Do you think anti-rope counts?
It's
Fuck, that's not an anti-rope, but okay. I have 2 cure-alls. There's only one of me.
How much you getting fuckered up?
Not at all, actually. I'm doing fine. It's just giving me stuff. Okay. Tropics time. Oh, I saved it. Such a gamer. Ow. Don't worry about that. Nothing happened. Okay. I've made it down the mountain alive, surprisingly, given the track record. Luggage. Energy drink, big lollipop. Okay. Problem is, I want these things so that I can. I am going to sacrifice a cure-all for my own. Oh, actually, I should sacrifice. Hydrate. Okay. You can go in there. I'll take the energy drink as well for when I eventually try and climb big. I'm not shrimped. I will hydrate though. Do you have like too many points or something? I'm stretching. Blah. How many points do you have left? Creeper. Oh shit, my ship broke. No, stop. My ship broke when the internet went down. There we go. No! No! The Woomy! No! It didn't work! Not the Woomy. Okay. I think this flat edge here is... How do I do that? Oh, there we go. What? How did you do that? I'm gonna set a timer. How long is emote only chat for? What does it say on the redeem?
Sunglasses.
Oh, only 2 minutes. Oh my god, you put sunglasses on it. Okay, let me set up a little 2-minute timer. Right. We are going to attempt it.
Squished.
Squashed. Why is that not working at all? It has disconnected because of the internet. Cool, okay.
Goes up.
Let's shut that down and restart it. Ow. What?
I have to piss. I'll be back.
Okay. Okay. We have 2 ropes. Cool. Come on. Come on. Give me the achievement. Just give me the achievement. Please. No way that wasn't 50 meters. What the fuck? Oh, unless my Steam's offline. No. Why is the achievement so difficult? Why can't I get it? That's what, 2 attempts? Oh. Does it just not work on certain walls? I don't understand why I'm not getting that achievement. I'm just scouting for more luggage right now. I cannot seem to get this stupid fucking... Okay, that's not gonna work. Well... Oh, that luggage is open already. Fuck! Oh, that's so annoying. Why isn't it counting it? I don't understand. I guess we could just keep sort of scouting out this peak. Because eventually I also want to do the extra difficulty ascents as well. I guess I'll just try on a run stock up on like 3 or 4 pitons and go for that. Okay, hold on, I need to wait a little bit. Okay, up here. Cool. If I head up this way, maybe. Oh yeah, here we go. This is a route.
My dome.
My
dome.
I tried to get the 50 meters achievement again and I fucking failed again.
It's fucked up.
Climbed all the way up, just did not get anywhere. Ow. Just like, nothing fucking happened. No achievement. Ugh. as if there's a mod that'll give me like a readout of how high I am. Like what altitude I'm at. So then I can see whether or not I've gone up the 50 meters. I can get an idea for it. Be nicer than just guessing. Where'd it go from here? This is a tricky bit.
I have been on manual reading mode for like 2 hours now.
Oh god, are you good?
I don't know.
That's real. Uh-oh.
Little bear.
Uh-oh. Ow. So that went poorly.
Spoilers.
What? It didn't go horrendously, it just didn't go great, to be honest. It's warm in your room. Oh shit, I still have emote chat on, I was supposed to turn that off already.
What's my temperature? 83. What's that in British? 28.
That's pretty warm, to be
At least
honest.
It's not 96.
True.
Just kidding.
Ow! Was that really that high? Jeez. Oh fuck, I need to stop doing that. What if I can get up here? And then do this on the wall. And then climb up further. And maybe I can get in this little hole. Yes. Yes! Where the fuck do I go now? Oh, over here. Oh yes, this is the vibe. I'm going places.
Up?
I think so. Oh, okay, I made it. Hell yeah. Those mushrooms aren't edible. No, I'll get them poisoned. Nope. That is not how those mushrooms work. And we both... You are very quiet. You need to get closer to your microphone.
What defines
Oh, thank you.
What defines that?
What?
You're welcome. You're welcome. I am here now.
Yay.
Is this better?
Yes.
I'm gonna slurp my soda.
I can actually hear you now. Before you were just kind of
Delicious.
mumbling quietly in the background.
That's because I was far away from my mic.
Ah. Yeah, I
Doing
can
other
hear
things,
shit.
such as crimes.
I thought you said crying then, and I was about to get real concerned.
Oh, that too. On and off.
Ah.
The entire time I've been here, my eyes have just been leaking.
Yeah?
Yes.
Luggage. 2 luggage. Can I get over
Opened my
there?
spreadsheets and just started bawling because it's just so much spreadsheets.
This is a really good time to use the rope that I have for an actual purpose. number 1 out of 8. How do I get over there is the thing. Oh, maybe if I put more rope down here, I should have a little extra. Okay, now I can get back to where I was once I've got all this luggage. Surely at least one of these will have more rope in that I can use. Luggage. Nola bar. Elm. Sport drink. Slurp. What's in here?
Spoilers.
I'm so happy. Now I only need one more from this area and I'll be back on track with my rope spoolage. As I really need to get at least 2 from each area.
Spreadsheets.
Yeah. Are they calling to you? Hi, Ashy. It is not morning. It is 6:30 p.m. That is not a morning. That is a evening. Ah, yes. I say merging. I'm the only person in the Mosspile Alliance right now. I'm gonna be real with you, Ashy. It would not be merging. It would literally just be me.
What is place?
The W place, the little pixel art thing.
Piss.
What?
The one you put in balls?
Yes, the one I put in balls.
500 internal error. Version?
Where the fuck did I leave my ropes? Ow.
I don't know how to use this thing.
Well,
Back to my spreadsheets.
okay.
I'll figure.
Renaming it. Wow. We're gonna be so teamed up. Actually, I'm so sad. Someone else drew something in my pixel art zone. I'm so upset.
You go in the middle of Maine, fuck ass nowhere. There's a lot of space. At least last I saw.
A very prominent spot in our description. Honestly, I'm fine with that. The stats, oh no, you're so valid. I'm so chill if it's just called Homs. Because we know what it is in our hearts, and that's the important thing. See, this is the problem with Zonda. If I start doing the pixel art somewhere else, then all of my work on the current pixel art will be wasted.
Just stare at it real hard and go, and then it'll spawn in whatever other area you want.
Ooh, I could put the picture I'm attempting to replicate. Wait, moving it over where? Oh, moving the stuff people drew. See, I was gonna do that, but also I don't wanna, cause like, then it looks, their credit it won't have their username stuck to it anymore, and I'd feel bad, but but maybe I don't care. Well, maybe I do care. I don't know. Okay, I've got 4 rope spools. I've done 4 rope spools. Oh no, I've done 2 and I have 2 more. So I need to get 4 more rope spools to get the achievement. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe I'll just fucking move their shit anyway and not give a fuck. It's only 2 really little things. It's just like, And the first one, it's like, okay, I get it. I hadn't designated my spot before then, so I understand why that's there. But like the second one, it's like right next to my shit. It's like, hey man, can't you see I'm doing a thing here, guys? Stuff is happening right here, and like I get that maybe that's where your house is, but like come on, dude. I was in first. Yeah, I get the sense that maybe I'm taking it a lot more seriously than the other people in my hometown that are just drawing random shit everywhere. Rope spool number 5!
Blows up.
I'm just using this one. Do I really need to keep...
The W plate is a white void.
Oh, yeah, I think the servers are struggling a little bit. Oh my god. Thank you, Ashi. I love you. Oh my goodness. You have 720 pixels. Oh my god. Oh my god. I only have like 100 and something. What the fuck? How do you have that many? What have you been doing? My goodness. Keeping 500 in reserve? Oh my god. My god, that's so many. How do you have that many? Oh my goodness. I'm gonna chain launch. Directly. Is there even anything? Yeah, there's a luggage over there. I'm gonna chain launch over there. I don't give a shit. I can do what I want. I'm gonna drink this energy drink. Fuck. Oh, well, that went well. Luggage! Another rope spool! What is this, number 6, I think?
Blows up.
That's counting the 2 I have in my pockets as well. So I've placed 4, and I have 2 on me right now. So I just need 2 more. And then I should have the achievement. I'm so excited. Uh-oh. Okay, how am I gonna get back over there? That is the question of the day, is how to get back over there. Oh, I guess just jumping on the chain will work. Oh, we're almost at the top as well. Hell yeah. There's a luggage I missed all the way down there. But I can't go back for it because I've come too far for that. These look very climbable. I think I should climb them. Yeah.
Do my
I can't do your coursework. We've discussed this. I can't do your spreadsheets either.
my spreadsheet.
This has not gone how I hoped it would. Ah, there we go. Yes. It's going.
Spoilers.
What? It's not my fault you're watching on a delay, alright? I'm doing my best.
I can't control the delay.
Neither can I! I have to react to things as they're happening, otherwise what's the point of watching it live?
No, you have to wait like 7 to 10 seconds.
Oh my god, no, I'm not doing that. Rope spool? No. Nola bar? How many more did I need? Like, what, 2 did I say? This is my problem. I'm gonna forget how many ropes I've spooled. I can feel it happening. I'm pretty sure I've unspooled 4 ropes. And I own 6. So I just need 2 more ropes. And then I can win. And everything will be joyous and wonderful. Hello, statue. What you got for me, statue? Another fucking— are you kidding me? Another fucking cure-all? What is it with the cure-alls? I've had 3 cure-alls this run! I don't need that many! What the fuck?
Slurping.
I got a scroll. Did I get... I still only have 5 out of 8? Oh, do I have to inspect it? Now do I have... No, I still only have 5 out of 8. Did I already get that one then? I don't understand how how that badge works, I'm gonna be honest. Me and my fucking cure-alls. My collection of fucking cure-alls. Hello, Alpine! I don't like how flat this Alpine looks.
Flat.
Yeah.
What?
Oh fuck, are you kidding me already? My god. Oh come on. Really? Oh my goodness. That was fucked up. That was really fucked up, game. You didn't even give me a fucking chance. My god. I should have brought a lantern. I didn't though. There's another luggage over here. Oh fuck. I was expecting— I hate this area. I always expect it to be more solid than it actually is. You know? You get onto a bit and you're like, is this a bit I can stand on? Oh, no it isn't, even though it looks like it should be. Rude. Very rude. What's in here? Chain launcher. Ooh, alright. Won't say no to that. Ow. Fuck. I'm gonna stop doing that. My goodness. Uh-oh. Oh my god, that's beans? Is that beans over there? Surely the beans can keep me toasty warm. Surely if I touch the beans... That'll keep me toasty warm on the mountain. Oh, did I leave a bandage in here actually? I think I did. Hold on, let's have a look.
I don't
did.
think touching the beans to warm up a bit is...
Well, they're hot, and I'd be cold.
Yeah. But that seems like a little excessive of a way to...
But like, if they're there and I don't have any other way to warm up, surely touching the beans would work. In an, you know, just in an emergency, I mean. Ooh, a heat pack. Oh, and a lantern. Uh-oh. Speaking of that heat pack. Okay, this is spool number 5 going out. Let me tie the fucking knot, please. There we go. And I have spool number 6 in my pockets. So that I can make room for this lantern. I just need 2 more. Surely I can find 2 more in the next... Ooh, a rope cannon. And a granola bar. Don't mind if I do. You are going in here. What? Wah. Help. Help me. Why is this place cold?
Alpine.
Yeah, but I'm against the wall. What the fuck? That bit shouldn't be the cold bit.
Ice.
Chain launcher and a flare. What the fuck? Okay. Can't really do anything with this. Oh, unless I put out... Hold on, I'll put out the next rope. This is rope number 6 going out. I wonder, does the Steam Achievements thing keep... No. It does not keep track of single expedition achievements. How sad. Another box. Uh-oh. The snow is so cold! No, I just got coffee on my shirt. Are you fucking serious? Oh, I got quite a lot of coffee on my shirt. Uh-oh. Well, that's a problem for later, though. And by late 11, I mean whichever lemon decides that having a slightly damp shirt is too much of a sensory experience.
Blows up.
Could be a soon lemon. Or a much later lemon. I want that luggage over there. Oh yeah, no, that is beans. That's a lot of beans for one cold mountain. I'm so excited for the peak update on Monday. I haven't actually looked at any of the update teaser stuff, but I know it's gonna be a desert, which I'm quite excited about. I don't know whether it's like an additional peak you have to climb, or whether it's like it like replaces one of the other peaks sometimes. Well, at least rinse it so it doesn't stain. It's okay, Ashley. This is a black t-shirt. And I don't care if it stains or not because it's also a pajama t-shirt. So I do not give a single fuck. It's already had the sleeves cut off of it because I decided sleeping with sleeves was no longer an option in my citalopram fueled heat rage. Let me up! Let me up! No, not again! Are you fucking kidding me? I just got up here. Ah! I'm losing it. I'm going up here. I don't give a fuck about the cold. I ate a heat pack. I'll be fine. I should probably be saving those. But like, yeah, it's probably fine. Surely. Okay, I need 2 more rope spools. 2 more. That's it. And then I'll win. Really hoping I don't have to go all the way to the kiln before finding the rope. Because I would really like to do the rest of this climb without having to fucking worry about rope anymore. I can't talk right now, I'm cold. I'm eating things. Okay, time to find out if the beans work. Oh, they do! Chilling near the beans is good. Just not touching it, though I could touch it. Oh! So about touching the beans.
I told you.
I know you told me, but I didn't listen. I know you told me, but I didn't listen, and I understand now why you told me. And in future, I may be more inclined to listen.
I'm so very dope.
Look, we have to believe that next time I'll listen.
Okay, we'll believe it then.
You don't sound convinced.
What gave that away?
Look, I'm doing my best, okay? Oh my god, is that luggage? I want that luggage. It's cold out here, babe. I should touch the beans. Oh, hi. That's a lot of beans. I just want to go past it, though. Piton! Another fucking chain launcher. My goodness. Why do I have so many Curals? Ah, rope spool! Number 7. We need 1 more. What? Wait, I did it! Already.
Oh, yippee.
Wait, do rope cannons count?
I have no clue.
I have 4 chain launchers. I don't need that many chain launchers. No one needs this many chain launchers. Why do I have that many? 4 chain launchers, 2 Curals. I'd rather have the rope cannon, to be honest. Let's get rid of a chain launcher. Let's get rid of 2 chain launchers to have a piton. Okay, I don't have to give a fuck about ropes anymore because I did it. I just need to climb without touching the ground, but I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do that this run. I don't know. Maybe I'll do it by accident. That would be nice if I did it by accident. Please don't cold me. I'm so based. Don't ask me what I mean by that, because I could not tell you. I'm so based though, you can't cold me. Ah! It's piton time. Where the fuck is the ground? Where is the safe ground? There has to be some somewhere, right? It can't just be up forever. Oh, there it is. Hey, I found the safe ground. I know you were worried that I wouldn't find it, but I did, so it's fine.
I believed you the entire time.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You sure?
I have no clue what the fuck's going on right now.
I'm just yapping, man. I'm gonna be honest. Can I stand here? Oh, I can? Yes. Sort of. Well, sort of's good enough for me. Where the fuck am I? I'm in a crevice. I'm in a crevice right now. Babe. Babe, guess what? I'm in a crevice. I'm sure you really wanted to know.
I'm glad I know.
Did you know I'm in a crevice right now?
I wasn't aware of it before, but now that you brought it to my attention, I can see that you're in the crevice.
Yeah, aren't you so glad that I've told you that you can see and you know that I'm in a crevice right now? What would you have done if I hadn't told you that I was in a crevice? You'd have been utterly despondent.
Continued typing in my spreadsheets.
You would have had no idea. You would have been just like so upset, oh, luggage. Don't laugh at me. You know what Grim keeps doing? Grim keeps coming into my stream and just kind of hanging out, and then every now and then they'll be like, I can hear the ADHD loving it. And I'm like, what are you talking about? What ADHD? What do you mean? And I feel like that might be what's happening right now, just a little bit. Don't laugh.
Do my coursework.
I can't. Look, I can't even climb the peak without like shutting up. Do you think I'm capable of sitting and doing coursework?
But it's my coursework.
That does not make a difference. It's still coursework. I still have to sit still for more than 30 seconds to do it. Yes. Yes, that's why you can't do it, because you're just still.
I can sit still.
Can you?
I just don't want to fucking do the coursework.
Can you sit still, though?
I can. I've been sitting still this entire time.
Have you actually been sitting still, though, or do you just think you've
my
been sitting
spreadsheets.
still? Ah,
I've been sitting still.
yeah, you probably have been sitting still, actually.
In my spreadsheets.
Yeah. Uh-oh. This is fine! Oh, it was fine. Cool. Good for me. Okay. I'm gonna rope. You ever roped? It's time for a break. Fuck you, Saribot. I do what I want. I'm sorry, Saribot. That was really mean. My apologies, Saribot.
I want a breakfast sandwich.
I want a breakfast sandwich. It's not breakfast time. I just really like food.
Yeah.
Actually, can you share your breakfast sandwich with us? Can we have a bite? Can we have a bite each of your breakfast sandwich? Oh my god, yay! Wait, why is the campfire all the way over there? What the fuck do you mean?
Keep climbing.
One layer each? Oh my god, wait, what's in a breakfast sandwich?
Please don't leave me with the egg.
Jeez! Wait, no, I want the croissant.
I'm lactose intolerant and I really, really hate egg.
Oh, that's true. Okay, no, I'll eat the cheese. Babe can have, Zona can have the croissant. paused. She won't even know what we're laughing about when she gets back. Bit paused. How long do you think we can keep the bit paused bit going? Bit paused. Not very long. I've realized. Me when a bit is paused. Bit paused. I'm a bit
I don't want to
paused.
fill out this fucking. How many more do I need?
You better not be complaining about filling out the spreadsheet that you enjoy filling out for fun. Why are you giving yourself unrelated coursework? You're just doing coursework. OC coursework. When you have actual coursework to do. Why are you doing this to yourself?
Because I like it better than the normal coursework.
More work. What the fuck?
Yeah, but this I actually enjoy.
I mean, I guess.
It's just to the
Do you
point where
though?
there's like so few things for this category that I put in that now I have to actually.
Is it the
think
smell
about it.
category?
It is.
Again.
Oh my god.
Hi. It's
I
okay,
want the
we came to
croissant.
a conclusion. Zana gets the croissant because he's lactose intolerant, so I have to eat the cheese. Uh-oh.
I do not like egg. It makes me
Oh,
ill.
that was cool. We talking about eggs? Yeah.
Eggs make me ill.
Zana no likey egg. You like eggs? You can have the egg then. You get egg and sausage. Me and Zana are eating the other 2 layers of your, your sandwich.
It is now just breakfast without the sandwich.
It's just breakfast. You get breakfast now. Where is the sandwich? It's gone. I should not be rushing this. But the gamer in me wants to rush this. I'm such a pro gamer. Babe, do you think I'm a pro gamer? Uh-oh.
Yeah.
You still
Why
think-
you say uh-oh?
No reason. Slightly concerned I wasn't gonna make the jump. That's all.
Oh, you're at the caldera.
Yeah,
Nice.
I'm a pro
the-
gamer.
When did you get there? That's crazy.
Like 2 minutes ago. Not even 2 minutes ago, actually. Like less than 2. Ooh,
I'm knee
luggage.
deep in these spreadsheets, and I'm pretty sure I'm sinking.
Oh,
Yeah.
do you like need help? It's okay,
Not
I can
yet.
dig you out if you want. What's in
I
this
just-
luggage?
I gotta get deep in there.
Another
so I
rope
can
spool.
continue with the rest.
Oh my god, guys, look, I'm unspooling.
I don't know why I don't like eggs. I mean, they just don't taste that great, but they also make me physically ill.
No,
Every
it's
single
okay.
time
I
I
can't
have
cope with eggs a lot of the
with
time
anything.
either. I also
Yeah,
struggle with
I
eggs.
Don't know why it's like this.
It's just, it's such a strong flavor, but you don't think it is until you're eating. Oh my god.
But the thing is, Jesus. The thing is
I'm
with it
gonna
too, like
such a
I'll
fucking
have
sugar
eggs
high.
with like my sister will make eggs when we're making breakfast sandwiches or something, and I'm like, I have her like make them a different time every time, like to mostly that has to do with like making them unrecognizable beyond whatever the fuck, and I'll have eggs that are from different places or whatever or something, and I'll eat them and I'll be like, yeah, that was an egg. Could have tasted better if, you know, I didn't have egg on it, but I'm sure it'll be normal now. And then I finish it and I'm like, and then I'm not normal.
Oh. I mean, you do have stomach issues like unrelated, or maybe like adjacent to the lactose intolerance. Maybe you just can't do eggs either.
God. Why can't I just
What?
Eat.
Just digest? I don't fucking know,
Why can't I
dude.
just
You.
digest?
you,
This is so fucked up.
you have the lowest constitution score out of anyone I've ever met. Man's just can't fucking eat shit.
Meanwhile, I'm thinking about my third mug root beer.
Oh shit, bad things are about to happen.
Like a third mug root beer.
What? Is that the bad thing that's about to happen?
I'm a little thirsty.
Oh jeez.
No, technically, technically the one I just finished was my second and a half.
Did you like that? Was that
Yeah.
cool as fuck?
Yeah. I don't. It didn't catch up yet, but I'm guessing. Oh, you're fine.
Yeah, I'm fine. I just wasn't sure I was gonna make it, you know? That was a risky fucking jump. I wonder if there's anything good at the top of this. Only one way to find out.
Can you give me a random scent?
Coffee.
I think one of these motherfuckers already got that.
Oh, lavender.
Hold on, I can look. One of these motherfuckers already got that.
Oh, citrus.
One of these motherfuckers already got
Oh, fuck.
that. Do you see why I'm struggling so bad?
Patchouli.
What?
Patchouli.
I don't know what that is.
It's a scent.
How do you spell that?
Patchouli. That doesn't help at all. I'm so sorry. I don't actually know.
Oh, okay. Okay, cute. Okay, let's see. Which one?
Have you tried weed smell? That's a smell.
I'm not doing weed smell.
Why not? Do you not just have like a
God,
really
no.
fucked up little guy that you want to smell of weed?
Not currently.
I'm sorry, I'm like that.
There's a couple of these motherfuckers that would probably, but like, I hate that scent.
Hey, look, no one said they had to smell nice, they just had to smell of something.
You're right. You're
What do
right.
I smell of, I wonder?
But I don't want to think about
Caffeine.
that.
Probably.
I need another one. More.
I don't fucking know. I could ask my mom.
More.
Vanilla.
Already got one.
Fuck you. Bread.
I don't know.
Bread's a
Already
smell.
got that.
Fuck.
Already got that though.
Sulfur.
Ooh. Interesting.
No one said I had to
Is there
smell
any-
good. It just says to smell.
You're right. Lemongrass is a good one as well. Let's see, where's the motherfucker that would probably smell like sulfur? Oh shit. Okay, I don't got that.
I've made it.
Lemongrass. Let's see.
Lemongrass, lemon grab. I'm sorry.
There we go.
I should stop apologizing. I'm not a little gremlin
What?
and I should own that. What? Don't worry about it. I'm having several moments here.
Yeah?
Yeah. I will not elaborate. The big lollipop first aid kit.
The last ones that I have are just so fucking normal. God damn it.
Air freshener. Soap.
Air freshener.
Yeah. Alright, at least one of these bitches has to just smell of like shampoo.
One of them already smells like that.
Oh fuck. Look, okay, I'm gonna be honest. How many motherfuckers do you have? Some of them can share a scent. Okay? If you got, what, 78 people in a room, some of them would smell the same. At least 2 of them would smell the same, or at the very least similar, okay? They can share a scent.
It's 81. It's 81.
81? Okay, you get 80 people in a room. At least 2 of them are gonna share a smell. He's giving giving his OCs scents. Like they're fucking scented markers or some shit.
That's what's in the fucking spreadsheet. I didn't make this motherfucker.
No, but I'm gonna be weird about it nonetheless. Yeah. Oh my god, look at this. Actually pulling out the math
Yeah,
facts.
But variety. Man. And it doesn't help that like so many of these bitch ass motherfuckers like
Okay, are any of them siblings or
live-
related to each other? Because let's be honest, who's
well,
gonna smell
I took
the
care of the
same?
siblings already. They're done.
Fuck. Like, they're more likely to smell the same. Like, I'm pretty sure that both me and my mother
Yeah.
radiate
Let's
coffee from our very pores at this point. Like, you know?
Yeah, I'm okay, let's see. Do I have any that would either
Hello,
siblings or
Kiln.
spend the majority of their time together?
The
No, I
Kiln.
took care of them.
Day 7. I'm so ready to win. Though I don't necessarily have to. I do have my achievement.
Do you think it would be sensitive to write corpse for the ones that are dead?
What does a fucking corpse
They
smell
don't
of?
stay dead, unfortunately.
Dead. Did they smell of rotting and dead? That's the scent. Write
Well-
it down. It's not insensitive if they're dead.
They're not. I mean, they didn't stay dead, and some of them are.
Okay, then some of them smell of dirt.
I have that.
Fuck! Look, statistically, the amount of people that smell of dirt versus the amount of people that smell of like fucking vanilla, there's probably more dirt smelly people. There's probably a lot of people that smell like dirt. It's- Fuck, you got a fucking microwave in there?
What?
It sounded like a microwave.
I was turning on my fan.
Why does your fan make noise and why is it microwave noises?
It was the beeping when I turned them on.
Why does it beep?
I turned on the fan and it beeped multiple times as I switched to the lowest setting.
Look, the fan's got a beep.
What are you talking about?
Never in my life have I had a fan
fan
that
doesn't
beeps. What purpose does that serve? Can I make this?
I don't know, but I'm
Probably
not
not.
looking at the thing because I covered up the light so I listen to the sounds of the beeps.
Oh man, I think that's lame.
What?
I'm sorry, I'm
Just
in a
another
really,
audio
I'm in a
cue.
really annoying
Pressing the
mood.
buttons.
I apologize. But also, isn't it really funny?
I'm gonna lose my shit.
Okay, that's fair. That's probably reasonable. Oh, that was a really bad place to put that rope. Actually, no. That was a really good place to put that rope. I'm such a gamer. such a gamer right now. You guys don't even know.
in.
I'm such a fucking gamer. I do not enjoy the kill music. It freaks me out, puts me on edge. Can I get up here? Oh, perhaps. If I'm clever about it. Oh, baby. Oh, we are going
Do you know what I've
places.
been using for the thing, for the scents? I have fucking a personal scent generator up that I just click and hope that something normal will pop up. But no,
Oh my god.
no, nothing ever normal pop. I want like physical, like what do you mean? Fallen leaves, joy and glory.
Okay, no, fallen leaves is a scent.
Yeah, but there's also, okay, we have another one after I press the thing because it gives me 3 at a time. Motor oil. Yeah, that's a scent, right? Okay.
Yeah, that's a scent.
Desperation?
That just no, okay, desperation is the combination of body odor and wet dog.
Ew.
That's what desperation smells like. I will not elaborate.
And the last one is summer.
What?
Summer? The last one is summer. The formula it follows
Fuck.
here is she smells of blank, blank, and blank. This motherfucker smells of motor oil, desperation, and summer. What did this chick go through?
I don't know. She went through something though. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was not a place I wanted to go, but I went there. Fuck, I used up all my chain, bitches. I could rope. Where would I rope to?
Sneeze.
Do it, coward.
No.
Please?
Hey, your shit fucked up.
Did it? What do you mean my shit
Oh,
fucked
you're
up?
back.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, my shit's actively fucking up. Oh, cool. Love that. It's fucking great.
Do you know what I have to do for my other class that's also due tomorrow?
You
I
have to
not-
die on
I have a
camera.
presentation due.
I I have a presentation due.
Oh, those are basically the same thing.
Yeah. And
I'm gonna put
I have a
another
manuscript
t-shirt to wear.
discussion due as well as a gallery assignment. Which
Oh, what's a
think
gallery
the
assignment?
gallery assignment. It's kind of like a discussion post, but I don't get to see other people's responses before I
Oh,
do
ew.
it.
Hate
yeah,
that.
but what it's on is
Actually, no, I kind of love
let
that.
me read out the whatever the fuck. Yeah. Well, no, I hate it. I need to look at other people's shit before I do it. Even though I half-ass read all the other discussion posts.
Hold
I
on,
just
I'm
need to
taking
see
my
how they weight
headphones
better.
off real quick. I got it. This
Come
t-shirt
back.
needs to go.
Come back. Come back. Come back. No, 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 no. It's gone. She's left us, chat. She's left us, and I don't know what to do about it. I don't know how I'm gonna cope. I don't know how any of us are gonna cope. I don't know what to do in this situation. Just
Yeah?
abandon us forever. Oh.
What do you mean forever? It was 2 seconds!
Anyways, for my initial post for this
Uh-huh.
gallery assignment, it says, by Sunday, for your initial post, identify the factors, individual, group / cultural, etc., related to identity formation and gender identity in adolescence.
Oh. You have
Yeah,
that.
use the
You have a
identified
gender.
learning material. I do have a gender.
What is up with my... Are
Previous
you seeing my
material for
hands right now
transgender
gripping
children.
this lollipop?
You are gripping that motherfucker.
No. It's just like
Nobody's
not
gonna
okay.
take it away from you. It's okay.
One of my arms is like very much not okay right now. And that's hilarious to me.
to do is create a clear argument of the extent of how media influences identity and gender identity formation in adolescence.
Ugh.
I will need to consider what form of media was when I was an adolescent and ask myself how said media influenced my
Danny
identity
Phantom.
and gender identity formation. Listen, I didn't even watch Danny Phantom properly at that age, but do you know how I found out I was trans?
What?
I was scrolling through YouTube and I found this motherfucker, I think his name was James or something, and he was talking about his identity and how, like, he was trans, and I'm like, something's really clicking here. And then I binge watched a bunch of those videos and I'm like, motherfucker.
Ah, shit. This is like,
Because I didn't
that's
know
the
that
s-
was a thing.
that's the same
I just knew I was
energy.
incredibly uncomfortable at all times.
Oh my god, is when I figured out what ADHD was. I was on this, I actually was on the Discord server. We were both on this Discord server, the fucking Homestuck Discord server, and we had a vent channel, and I was complaining about my schoolwork. I was complaining about how everyone in school, all the teachers had decided something was wrong with me, but not one of those bitches would tell me what it was. So I was just sat there like, am I dyslexic? Am I epileptic? What the fuck is wrong with me? And like 4 of them were like, you should Google ADHD. Girl boss. And I did it, and I'm sat there with my head in my hands like, what the fuck? Oh my god! Why did no one tell me this was a thing? They were right.
Yeah, that was me.
Yeah, that fucking emoji. That's it. That's the emotion. That's the emotion right there. It's
Me
just
and you,
the.
when you were figuring out what ADHD is, I was figuring out what transgender is.
Sat in the vent channel going, what is wrong with me, guys? And they're like, hey, we're all diagnosed and you should be too. I was 16, I'm still not fucking diagnosed. What the fuck is this? I'm 22 now. This is not okay. Did you actually find the message? Oh my god! Wait, it's still there! Wait, oh my god! What the fuck?
That's so fucking goofy.
What's ADHD like? Oh no! The moment! The exact... We've just pinpointed the exact moment.
My God.
That's incredible! Holy shit! I can't believe you found it that quickly, Ashley. My god.
Wait, now that I'm reading my fucking post that I have to do, hold on. It says you'll need to gather supporting evidence for my argument on
What does that mean?
so, or media influencing identity types things. But then it says, lastly, provide one recommendation for changes that can be made to adapt, moderate the effect media has on identity and gender identity formation in adolescence. I don't
think it was very helpful. That's real.
I don't think that's gonna.
Yeah, ow. I don't know
Do
whether we
jack
should
shit.
be moderating those things in the way that they're describing. I think the fact that people can find out about their gender identity online is a good thing, actually.
Yeah. For example, would awareness campaigns, formal educational in secondary school settings, disclaimer warnings that pop up every time you open a social media app, etc., be effective? No.
Oh my god.
It's probably not. Wait, now I want to see the other replies.
I know awareness campaigns, I think, are alright. Because I think that's about, you know, trans people exist. You could be one of them. Trans people exist, they could be you!
This just seems like a this seems like one of those discussions or gallery assignment bullshit type things that honestly I'm not sure which way this could go.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some very interesting ways of phrasing it going on there. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe we're just on high alert for this sort of thing. It's hard to tell sometimes.
Let's see. And then my 6-slide presentation.
God, playing on Tenderfoot is fucking easy. What the fuck?
My slide will include title, summarize Erik Erikson's identity versus identity confusion psychosocial stage.
What a name.
I would like to fistfight Erik Erikson.
Oh my god, my name is Eric. Hi. Like, wow. Imagine having the name Erickson and your
Real.
parents call you
I
Eric.
thought they were funny. Goddamn. And James Marcia's identity status in your words. Hypothesis slide. Hypothesize if your characters from your course project manuscript have gained a sense of identity or not.
Yes, they probably have. Unfortunately, one of them is dead.
Finding slide. Construct a clear argument on whether you proved or disproved your hypothesis. During Erik Erikson's identity versus identity
I'm gonna
confusion
fucking
psychosocial
peek.
stage. I'm gonna peek.
I'm gonna peek.
Oh, look at you.
Wait, did I lose consciousness that whole time?
I don't know.
I don't think I did. I might be about to get an achievement, baby.
Ooh, yeah.
Another one.
Give me another scent.
Smoke.
Got that.
Well, fuck you. Jet engine fuel.
They don't have access to that.
That smell you get on your hands when you grab a rope and hold on to it a lot, and then your hands smell kind of weird afterwards. I got the survivalist badge, baby. Oh yeah.
What kind of scent is that? Not related to any of the last character. I'm 5. I'm 5
I got a
more.
new fit.
I'm a liar.
Yes!
I have 8 more.
Thank you, Ashi. I peaked. Yes!
Yippee.
That was a successful run. I got 2 achievements. Let's see how many we have left, shall we? Oh, we also know where the paper is for this mountain as well. That's good to know. Let's look at my... What did I get? I got a new outfit. That could be considered cute. Under circumstances. Am I gonna elaborate on which circumstances? No, I wonder what this outfit is. I want to get that outfit. Accolades. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 left. I only have 6 left, baby. To escape with no fall damage and escape in under an hour. Read all the journal entries. Don't place anything. Escape without eating packaged food and climb 50 meters upwards without touching the ground. I've got a speed run for one of these. That's gonna be tricky. Yeah. Though we were only half an hour out. Or not even half an hour out, like 20 minutes out for the escape in under an hour. If I really book it,
Probably.
maybe I could do it by myself.
No hesitation.
Yeah, I might go for that one, honestly. I also... I think I'm gonna leave the 50 meters one to last. I just cannot figure that one out. Do 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 do. Do. Okay. We're speed running, chat. Chat, we're speed running. We're speed running. Okay, you hear me, chat? We're speed running.
Five of them. 5 of them. 5 of them.
5 of them? 5
5
who?
of them.
Who are they?
5.
5. 5 of them.
If I give you an image of what these motherfuckers look like, could you make something up?
What, like a smell?
Yes.
Yes, but not while I'm speed running the mountain.
Not when you're running. But what about I beam it into your brain?
I don't know how you're gonna do that. I would like to
You'll
see
just
you
be
try.
flashbanged by these random creatures right behind your eyelids and
I would
you
love
just-
to see that. Go ahead, honestly.
beaming.
Okay.
Beaming.
Okay. Alright, one of
Did you
them
get it?
smells like bees.
Bees.
Yeah, one smells salty.
Okay.
Bees, salt. Oh, what do you want to call it? Beeswax? Fuck knows. That's got a scent. One of them smells like rocks, like when you sniff a rock. The other one smells like when you sniff powdered cheese. How many is that? 4?
Witty.
Was that 4? Or was that 5? What? One smells like dying sea creatures.
I think the beam was a little off.
Yeah? Wow, I don't believe it. How could the beam be off?
Okay, though I can tell you, it went down to 2. Okay.
That's really funny. Which ones did you keep?
I switched the bees to honey. I kept the salt. And I forget the other one you said.
I don't know. I don't remember what I said either.
There's just 2, so we're fine.
One smells like cold, other smells like hot. Yes, those are scents.
I regret to inform you that those scents are already taken.
Fuck
And
you.
it's not related to the people who are still free.
You got anyone that
Okay,
smells like
okay,
tree
one-
bark yet?
You know my purple dragon lady?
Uh-huh.
That's one of them.
Okay, she smells like, what does purple smell of?
I don't know.
Is coffee and shame a scent? That's what I smell of.
So many of my
purple.
motherfuckers already smell like lavender.
Coffee and shame. That's a scent. Separate to the
want-
coffee scent.
You want my goddess to smell like coffee and what, shame? Did you say?
Yeah, that is exactly what I said.
She feels no shame.
She smells like Lynx body spray.
I don't think I'm gonna ask for your opinion anymore.
Why not? I have such good opinions. Why ever not? What's wrong with my opinions? They're
What
so
would a
great.
medieval fantasy dragon lady smell like?
I told you. Lynx body spray.
No, no, I'm gonna open another fucking root beer. I'm gonna.
I'm kidding. I think this is hilarious. I hope you know.
I'm
I'm so sorry. I'm not taking this seriously at all.
You're so close to the end of the tunnel.
I've run out of ideas, man. I'm giving you everything. This is all I've got. All I have left is Link's body spray. Why did I take
What the fuck
damage?
is that?
What?
What is that?
It's a body spray company. They make smells. Specifically Link's Africa.
So are you not talking about Link Legend of Zelda right now?
What?
Link,
Oh, no.
Legend of Zelda.
No. No.
What kind of fucking body spray does Link wear?
Link does not wear body spray. Link's scent is fucking sweat and blood, and every now and then Fish Boy has to like physically drag him into the lake with some soap to try and get him clean. That man does not wash. You asked Link when the last time he took a bath was, and he's like, well, sometimes I get wet when it rains, and that's it. That's that's it. That man does not wash. Yeah, he has a natural. It wards off predators and also anyone who goes near him. That man is stinky.
That's a natural. That wards off predator.
What do lizards smell of? She smells of lizard.
My God.
Are you writing that down? No fucking way.
Not. I'm Link.
What are you googling? What lizards smell of?
No.
You should. I think it'd be really helpful. Anti-rope. Oh yeah, baby.
Fuck it. Mountain.
Just smells of whatever snow smells of.
Unfortunately, that's since taken.
Oh my god, you've too many OCs. There aren't enough scents in the world for the amount of creatures you have.
These are ones that were no way.
I don't know what to tell you, man.
I
Too
need
many
one more.
creatures, not enough smells in the universe.
I need one more.
Oh, there goes my no full damage badge.
This guy don't have
Dog? Wet dog?
Dude doesn't have a dog either.
But he can still smell of it. If he tries hard enough and believes in himself.
I don't think this guy is capable of believing in himself.
Ah, if he smells of shame then.
You know what? I'm listing that. Shame with a period at the end. I'm done.
Yay! Congrats.
Thank you.
I have to shave. I have to
Been working
shave
on that for fucking weeks.
20 minutes off of my peaking time. Surely surely I'm gamer enough to peak within an hour. Blah. My throat hurts from laughing too hard.
Blowing up.
I'm gonna blow you up in a minute. I'm sorry. Is it bad that my default response, like 90% of things I say, is to just apologize immediately afterwards. Because whatever I've said, it probably warrants an apology. Not like a bad sign. Should I be concerned by that? Oh fuck, I gotta get up
I
here.
think you're just in a mood.
I think I'm just a creature.
Creature mode.
Yeah. Okay. I'm up here. Oh, this is where I was last time. Okay, this is a good route then.
I regret to inform you that I wasn't done with another one of these categories.
Are you fucking kidding me? I'm gonna destroy you.
It shouldn't be too hard. Probably.
What's the category?
It's just strengths. Strengths and or abilities.
What is this, a job interview? Applying for the job of Zonda OC? Okay, I already got the
something
job.
that they're either really good at or power that they have or whatever the fuck.
Can one of their powers be being gay? Smooching men?
All of them are gay.
Anyone in particular that's like especially so though?
No.
Like, you know, most of us are definitely not heterosexual, but Nito is like especially so, you know?
I'm not allowed to confirm or deny.
I'm going to confirm. I'm confirming right now.
I told you I'm not allowed to say anything on it because
You're
the spectrum
welcome.
is connected. Our
Yeah, but by
spectrums of
connecting
gay
the
and autism are
spectrum-
connected.
Connecting the spectrum is guaranteed that he must be gay because you're on the fucking spectrum. So what do you mean by that?
I can't admit to it.
We've been over this.
I can't admit
You
to it.
know you're on the spectrum. I know you're on the spectrum. Nito knows you're
I
on the
don't know.
spectrum. Therefore,
I
Nito
don't
must know
because
he's
if a medical
gay.
professional doesn't tell me.
Oh my fucking
Alright.
god. A medical professional
Then-
hasn't told me I've got ADHD, but we all agree I have that.
Well, you were actively working on it.
I
weren't
was.
You?
Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, but no professional certified that. They didn't even. I just sent some papers off and they went, yeah, you're on the list. They probably say that to everyone.
You don't know that though. You are assuming.
I'm gonna destroy you.
You can try. But I'm
I'm-
strong and powerful.
I am so strong and powerful. First of all, taller.
No.
So that's a win in my column.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think so.
I'm kind of impressed with the speed I've managed to get up this mountain so far.
Hell yeah.
Are you seeing this shit?
Particular strength would gotta be that
You're killing. Playing chess.
bad. Yeah.
I just think it's a skill any death god should have. No, I will not elaborate.
You don't need to.
Any embodiment of death should be able to whoop my ass at chess. That's just it. That's the tweet. Do I want to climb the tree? Did I climb the tree last time? Ow. No, I didn't. I went up this way last time. I'm gonna drink a sip of my cure-all because I don't have time for this bullshit. There we go. Ugh. I'm gonna be honest, I think this doing it in under 1 hour thing is easier solo than with people.
Blows up.
Yeah. Well, you can just fucking run ahead. And if you know what you're doing, you don't need the help to, like, scale the mountain or anything.
Blows up.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest, this is so easy on Tenderfoot. I feel like that anime character, one of those anime characters that walks around with weights on their foot, and then when they take the weights off, they're like fucking insane at just like everything. That's what playing on Tenderfoot after playing and learning this game on the default difficulty feels like.
Bing, bing, bing.
Bing, bing, bing. Oh my god, so many things just full of fucking bandages. I don't need bandages. I'm not taking that much damage. Also, I still have a fucking cure-all. I definitely don't need a bandage. It's like the last thing I need. I really need is like some decent rope cannons and stuff, but I don't seem to be getting any of those this run. I really hope this run doesn't die at the kiln due to lack of rope cannonage.
Blows up.
Yeah. Me when I blow up. Yeah?
Yeah.
Is that a technical term?
Yes.
Damn.
I'm gonna lose it.
Yeah. And by it, you mean?
My penis.
Oh my god. Your penor. Or perhaps even your weenor.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't know if you stopped talking then or if you cut out, so now I can't
No, I just stopped talking. I finished the sentence. I just ended it at weenor and that's it. That's all we need to know. Ooh, a heat pack. I'll eat my fruit. I'm almost at the campfire for the tropics. I don't know how long it's been since I started this run. Don't want that. Okay, read another one of those. Trail mix, eating it. Pick up the heat pack and use it. I'm at the Alpine!
Bing, 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 bing. Bing, 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 bing.
Might struggle here. I used a lot of tools last time to get up. Ooh, a baton. Okay, you're going on taking that with me. Love a good piton. A spam tong, in fact. just run for it.
Oh my god, I finished. Nope, I'm alive.
I love just tanking the cold damage with heat packs. It's so fun.
I know, right?
I don't give a fuck about the cold. I got a heat pack. I'm just gonna get really cold and instantly warm up. It's great. Just getting absolutely blown away by like nothing.
Okay, there we go. I'm done. Yippee!
Yippee!
There is a last name category.
Oh god.
I haven't given my characters last names. Years.
Some of them aren't gonna have them.
Some might.
I'll do that later.
Uh-oh. Oh, this is getting dicey. Okay, I'm alright. Oh, I gotta hurry, I gotta hurry. I don't know which route I took last time. Oh yes I do, I found it. Oh well, at least I know I'm going in the right direction. Ow. Ow. Luggage 1. Eat pack, I'll just use it. Luggage 2. Chain launcher and an energy drink. What do I have in here? I'm just gonna drink the energy drink and make a run for it. I'm not fussed about the chain launcher because I can't really use it right now. Ugh. Not that way. Which way did I fucking go? Up this way, I think? Okay, none of this is climbable. None of this is walkable, and it's really rude and upsetting. I think I use a rope spool here, but maybe I can chain over there. We're doing it. We're making this happen.
Where'd you have me?
Yeah. Where to from here is the question. Up around here, I think. Yes. This bit's a little cold. Ooh, shell fungus. I want that.
I gotta do that assignment.
Yeah, you do. You do actually have to do it eventually. As sad as it is.
Document me about it.
You can always watch a documentary with subtitles on a little bit of a faster speed. might make it just that little bit more bearable. I think I chained her. Good thing I have another one.
I don't have... Oh my god. I found the subtitles.
Yay! Gotta
Holy
have
shit.
those.
Okay, well, I got 20 minutes in last night. I guess I'm gonna play.
Oh jeez. Go do that. Have fun.
Wish me luck.
Good luck.
Bye,
Bye 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 bye. It's just you and me, chat. It's just you and me. That's okay. We can make it ourselves. I think I'm actually gonna use one of my lollipops here. Just so I can make sure I actually get up there. Oh Jesus, yeah, I'm glad I used this. Oh, come on. Okay, this is walkable. Let's keep going before the sleepy takes it all. I think I've scaled that in like record time. I'm gonna be honest. I've gotten up here so quickly. What the fuck? Oh, surely I can do the winning in an hour. Yeah, there's the campfire over that way again. I guess it makes sense it's over that way. I do wish it wasn't over that way though. Gonna try and stay out the cold as much as we can. Why is this bit still cold? Okay. No, I'm gonna save the cure-all. I think I'll be fine. As long as I don't touch these cold boys. The cold should go away in time. For the next one, hopefully. I don't know, that is taking a hot second. Let's see if we can get up here. Oh, just about. Yeah. Okay, just about survived. Oh, if we can do the kill, it all rests on how quickly I can get up that kiln. That, I do think that was quite an easy kill, but I did have a lot of items. To be fair, hopefully we can get some good items here. Another cure-all. That's not the worst. It's not going to get me any higher though, is it? Cook. Eat. Open this up. Energy drink. I'm actually going to keep this. Because paired with that lollipop, that could get me really far if I'm clever about it. Okay. Here we go. Through the caldera. Let's see if we can make this in under an hour. Doesn't have to be much under an hour. Fuck, I've already injured myself. That's fine. Fuck. I mean, that's okay, I guess. Rope spoolers are not that helpful. Actually. I'm gonna actually... No, you know what? I'm keeping the rope spool because sometimes that can help you get to chests and stuff. What the fuck? And we'll just take the energy drink now. Airline food. Yes, please. I would love to not be so hungry anymore. Ooh! Oh, that was a risk. Okay, that is actually lava going away, which is good. There's eggs over there. There's also another chest over there. Do we want to go for that? Oh, we might as well, because it's literally just over here. Let's go for it. We have time, I think. I don't actually know. I wish I did. Maybe I don't want to know. Maybe I don't want to know how much time we've got on the clock. Fucking useless. Not worth the time. I was kind of heading this way anyway, though. Oh shit, the lava's coming back up. That's really bad timing. Yeah, that's really bad timing. I'm not gonna make that now. Because I don't think that is safe while the lava's up. Let's wait for it to go back down a bit. Oh, okay. We just got a little bit toasty. That's okay, getting a little bit toasty. Woo! We made it. We made it. Wait for our stamina to come back before we jump on this thing. All I had to do was shave 20 minutes off of the last run, and the last run was not fast at all. I was running around looking for chests and stuff that whole run, so I could get the fucking rope achievement. We have to wait for the lava again. So I think we're definitely on pace. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not used to speed running. I don't normally speed run things. Come on, lava, go down, go down. Go down faster than that, please. Okay, it's going down. Because we're gonna have to run along the bottom for this. Ugh. Okay, okay, we're doing it. We're making this happen. I'm so excited. Woo! Okay, we made it through there fairly quickly. At least if I make this jump, we did. Oh yeah, made the jump. Easy peasy jump. Not a problem. Okay, this is the annoying bit. Do. These stairs were always really slow to climb up. I just never quite have enough stamina for it. Okay, up we go. Let's rest here a tiny bit. There we go. Okay, we're here. Let's just open up all these. We only take what we want. We drink everything else. Don't care about cooking it because there's only one of us. So we don't need that much extra anything. It just goes straight in my mouth. Simple as. Okay, this is more useful than the shell fungus. The lollipop is... Oh god, there's another piton in there. Okay. Rope is less useful than a piton. I want both pitons in my hotbar, so the second cure-all's going there. I don't know if I need 2 cure-alls. Rope cannon is more useful than an energy drink. Let's see what this thing has for me. Oh my god, an anti-rope cannon. Oh geez. Okay, that's better than the cure-all. This one's been drunk a little bit, this one hasn't, so we'll take that. That is our best of the best. We will cook our marshmallow. Just for emotional purposes. can't go without cooking your marshmallow. It's just not okay. And off we go into the depths of the kiln. Fear, panic even. Apparently you can cheese this by going around the outside of the mountain, but I don't see how you could possibly have enough going up stuff for that. But apparently that's a thing. I've never seen anyone do it though, I've just heard them yap about it. I don't see how it'd be possible personally. Honestly, I really think we might have made 1 hour here. Just depending on how long this takes. We've pretty much run across 3 mountains. Well, 4 if you count that. No, I think this is the last mountain. The bit out, the caldera isn't really a mountain. Hello, kiln. Day 4? It's only day 4? I've never done it that quickly. Oh my god. Last time it was day 7 and we were behind 20 minutes. This? I think this might be it for the sub-hour run. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yes. Over this way, over that way. Oh god. Just keep climbing, just keep climbing, just keep climbing. We have plenty of stuff for the bit later on where it gets all tricky. So I don't need to worry about that so much, because I'm all prepared for that bit. Not worrying about the perfect way to get up, we're just going. It's on pure instinct, baby! No thoughts, just climbing. That's it. There's the first tower bit. Oh, this is hot. Only a little bit hot, though. I think I want to go from that side. I don't think I can make that jump. I'm not risking it on that jump. No way. Stamina back before we go for the next bit. Oh, because that's not a fun. This is not a fun place to stand. Neither is this, honestly. Fuck, this is awful. This is an awful route I've picked here. My goodness. We're setting a baton before we go any further. This is a big fucking climb we've gotten ourselves into. I got another piton and a whole thing of extra stamina, so I should be able to make it. I'm setting the next one here before I use up all of my spare stamina, because I'd rather have it saved when we don't have pitons. Oh yeah, that was fucking expertly done. You kidding me? Oh, don't jump up there. Maybe there's another piton in here. Nope, there is. Airline food and a sports drink. I'll go up this way though. I don't give a shit particularly which way I go. They all go to the top. I'm not too fussed about collecting loads of stuff. Can I get all the way up here? Yes. Yes, definitely. Yes, abso-fucking-lutely. Do I have a chain left? No. Can I make that jump? I can make this one. Oh, I took a little bit of damage, but that's fine. That is fine. This bit's hot. I don't like the hotness of it. Ugh. Okay, we're up. Excellent. This is a little sticky a bit. Ah! I remember this bit. I went this way. I backed on myself. Oh, this bit was a little bit tricky. I think it would be best to rope about there. And if I can get... Oh, fuck, that's the wrong kind of rope. Ah, shit. I wanted to anti-rope. Oh, no. No, okay, that's fine. We can make that work. I think? Yeah, no. We can make this work. Provided this is a safe spot to stand. Which it's not. Okay, that was not a safe place to stand. So instead, we are going to... save our ropes and just climb up over here, actually. Because I think this is doable. Without anything... Kind of annoyed we wasted a rope there, but it's fine. Shit happens. You just gotta get on with it.